We are at Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Right on the Ohio River. A lot of interesting things here, a lot of historical things. There's the Ohio River, and I'm going to walk down here. Look at all these pictures on the wall, the Indians and stuff. There's Ohio. And over here's the pictures again. Murals on the wall. It's the Ohio River again. And I'm not sure, but that may be the bridge that took place of the Silver Bridge that collapsed. And over here, I have more murals on the wall. This is a real nice place to visit when you come here to Point Pleasant. Just walk towards the river. Picnic tables. Down there are some statues. Okay, this is the Point Pleasant, I believe, Riverfront Park. And here's a little history of Point Pleasant. Located at the confluence of the Ohio and Kanawha Rivers, one of the oldest cities along the river. The city was first named by George Washington in 1770. While surveying the area, he named the point of land between the two rivers a Pleasant Point. That's neat. Here are some more pictures. They had battles up here. I believe it might have been one of the first battles of the American Revolution, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong, but and down here's some statues. Chief Cornstalk and General Andrew Lewis. I think they said Chief Cornstalk put a curse here a long time ago. And there is another statue down here, along with more pictures. Okay, this is a statue of Lord Dunmore. Over there's a map. September 1774. Whoever did these pictures did a good job. Here's some more drawings. This takes place in the wintertime. And if you keep going down through here, we go to a little state park, and I do mean small. It may be the smallest in the state. I don't know who that is, but it reminds me of George Washington. Here they're going down the river in the boat. And down here's another map. Daniel Boone. Here's a statue of Daniel Boone. Some more drawings and another statue down here. Mad Ann Bailey. I thought that might have been drawings of her over there. Statue of her too. Okay, and we're going to go a little bit farther, and I think the statue down here at the park is right ahead of us. Here we are, the sign, welcome to Tu-Endie-Wei State Park. And down there is that big obelisk. So we're going to walk down here to it. Here's Chief Cornstalk, 1727, 1777. And there's a swing, and there's an old house, and there's the obelisk again, and over there's the big bridge going across the river. Okay, here's what it says. Chief Cornstalk. In this monument rests the remains of, I can't pronounce that name, better known as Cornstalk to the early settlers and frontiersmen. Chief Cornstalk was well known and respected by the white settlers and Indian tribes of the Ohio Valley. As chief of the Shawnees and head of the Northwestern Confederate tribes, Cornstalk decided to make peace with the white man. However, he was forced to lead the attack on the Long Knives at the Battle of Point Pleasant on October 10, 1774. Although he survived the battle, he was murdered 3 years later by soldiers at Fort Randolph. Here is the plaque of Virginians killed in the Battle of Point Pleasant. Here is a statue and a plaque on the other side of the obelisk, talking about the Battle of Point Pleasant. Here's a sign on the other side of the obelisk telling the Virginians wounded in the battle.
He built the house in 1796.
Is this an old one there? This here?
You know, that is, I think it's an artifact. I'm not sure that's new. I came to work today, and I only work 2 days a week. And that was laying there, so I don't have much to tell you about it.
So, did he build it to live in to start with?
Yeah. No, he built it.
We're inside a museum here at that state park.
In addition to being a residence, he ran the businesses, the ferry, the tavern, and the inn to support his family. And the children, they had 9 children. I think 2 were grown by the time they moved here. But the 7 children would sleep on the 3rd floor. And there's a staircase now leading up to it, but originally it was just a wall with holes in it. And every night, Catherine Newman would put pegs in those holes, and the children would scramble up, and then she'd take the pegs out, so they were up there for the night.
Going upstairs to the museum. is. It's interesting. I love old stuff. It's like a chamber pot down there, and maybe a baby buggy. Oh, and here's a pretty cradle. And an old sewing machine. Wow, that's a big spinning wheel. And my goodness, there's even a third floor. I'll pause just for a minute while I go up these steps. Okay, we're up on the third floor now. Now here we go, Indian artifacts. I love Indian artifacts. I have quite a few of them at my house. We found in our garden. But I don't have a collection nowhere near like this. Okay, I think we'll get down off of this hot third floor now and go back down the steps.
But had some colored folks.
Letter from Daniel Boone.
They wasn't slaves. They just wanted work.
Yeah.
And my grandma, she had a little store, a little tiny store about.
Is this really Anne Bailey's hair?
Yes.
What? Why was that done? I mean, that's kind of weird, isn't it?
Well, it's a Victorian tradition. They did it. It's called a mourning wreath, mourning. And when a person would die, they would take their hair and they would make a design like that. And then when their descendants after them died, they would take their hair and just keep adding to it and adding to it.
So, is it more than her hair there, I wonder?
No, I think it's just her.
Just her hair? That's
She
kind of
only
neat.
had one son, and when her husband died in the Battle of Point Pleasant, she sent her son William to her neighbor to be raised by her neighbor lady. And
This is the outside of the house where the museum is, and this is where it was originally located. It used to be like an inn and plus a residence. It's really interesting.
local Indians, the Wyandot and the Shawnee, called her the Squaw of the Kanawha. And they feared her because they'd never seen red hair before, and they thought her hair was like burning on fire, kind of thing.
Who never seen that, Indians?
Indians.
Wow.
They'd never seen red hair. It must have been flaming red hair.